Honorable Minister. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Manni
Otherwise,
Jawahar
a very
Karthi.
good bill.
Thank you, Manni Jawahar. Honorable Elango.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman. Thank you, Deputy Chairman. The Maritime Anti-Piracy Bill 2022, in my opinion, in its intention, object, and necessity of the time, it is very much essential. With the great respect to the members of the committee, select committee, and to the Honorable Minister, while I am welcoming the clauses 2, clause 8, clause 11, clause 13, 14 and 15 without any objection, I have my own suggestions to the Honorable Ministers to consider few of the clauses. As Mr. Tanka said, clause 3, which says that forfeiture of property which is having no guideline to make the order of forfeiture of property. There is no guideline at all given. Who is to initiate the forfeiture of property and who is to pass the order? That is to be addressed to, number 1. Clause 3 is concerned. The methodology under which the forfeiture of property is to be made is to be addressed. In clause 4 and 5, if it is read, it says whoever attempts to commit the offence of piracy, that is fine, aids, abets, or conspires. Now, if we can see subclause 2 of clause 2, the Indian Penal Code in its definition is applicable. Section 107 of the IPC defines what is abetment. Abetment is in 3 clauses: aids, conspires, or intentionally instigates. Now, all intentionally aids. All the 3 are again separated and given. In one act, in one word, abetment means it includes aiding and conspiracy as well. So, this will definitely give a room for lawyers to argue, you have not charged me under which provision of 107 of Indian Penal Code. 107, 1, 2, 3. This is the usual mistake being committed by the police officers while trying to try an offender under section 109 of the IPC. They don't classify that you have aided or intentionally instigated or conspired. This problem again crops in clause 4. I request Honorable Minister to address to that issue. Again, clause 5, direct other person to participate. That means what? That is instigation. 107 is of Indian Penal Code says instigation. Directs other person to participate means instigation. You are already covered in the definition clause that what are all not defined into this act is we have to go by the Indian Penal Code. So I also request you to address to that clause. Clause 6 is conferring powers of arrest, investigation and prosecution by an officer of the state government or the central government. Now this is the problem. Our guested officers who are not well trained with the provisions of Criminal Procedure Code, investigating the matter, investigation in common parlance or under CRPC means which start with section 154 of CRPC, ends with 173 of CRPC. This, the gazetted officer is not aware of these procedures. Normally, such an act, such an offence, which is to be prosecuted with due diligence, if it being given to the hands of a gazetted officer who is not well versed with the provisions of Criminal Procedure Code, especially 154 to 173, ultimately the trial gets in an acquittal. All these steps taken to prosecute them and to punish them will go futile. This is happening in many of the legislations, that this power of arrest and investigation is being granted to the gazetted officer. Whether he is aware of Evidence Act, admissibility, relevancy, gazetted officer is not well versed. Whereas the police officers are day and day to day knows what is the evidence, whether it is relevant or irrelevant, whether it is admissible or inadmissible. This is the problem with empowering gazetted officers to investigate into an offence, that too serious offence of this nature. That is my view of the matter. Then, as far as Clause 9 is concerned, Clause 9 proviso, which says, provided nothing in this section shall apply to a warship or its auxiliary ship or a government-owned ship employed for non-commercial service and is under the control of the government authorities at the time of commission of the offence of the piracy. So, we are looking on the status of the ship. Now, let us visualize a scenario that a person who is having the control of the ship illegally tries to commit an offence of piracy. He gets the protection. What we are trying to punish is the person who commits the offence, not the vessel. So, how can a person who is having the control of a ship, which is under the proviso, if he commits piracy, he will be excluded, he cannot be prosecuted. That proviso have to be considered by the ministry once again. Clause 10. Clause 10, if it is read, Clause 10(1) says that a person who has been arrested have to be sent to the magistrate. And magistrate can remand him for 15 days or 7 days, whatever the case may be. For 2 minutes. Sir.
May conclude now because your time is
I will finish, which are important suggestions according to me.
Yes, please.
But if it looked into, if the magistrate finds the detention of such person is not necessary, he have to send him to the designated court. Where is the purpose? What is the purpose behind this? Once the magistrate finds a person's detention is not necessary, you have to release him. That not is superfluous in my view. Then I only wish clause 5 of 10, subclause 5 of 10 comes true that day-to-day trial happens. That is never going to happen.
Thank you. Thank you. No time.
With this, Chairman, I say, while I welcome the bill, it has to be considered all these aspects.
Thank you. Thank you.